Hello and welcome to Talkin' Baseball. Freddie Freeman and the Dodgers walk off the Yankees in Game 1 of the World Series. Let's talk about it. I'm hyped. Nestor.
PK, nice bunt.
Dead in the
Jazz.
ball. Hello and welcome to Talkin' Baseball, presented to you by SeatGeek. Code Jomboy Playoffs 10. If you're going to one of these postseason games, you're going to want to use that code. My goodness. Jomboy Playoffs 10. Whether you're a first-time buyer or not, green means good, red means bad. You just learned how to use the app. Boom. So download SeatGeek. If you already have it, upload the code Jomboy Playoffs 10. Save 10%. Or if maybe your baseball team's out of it, go to a concert. Maybe some New York fans need to get away for a little bit after today's ending. There's a link in the description. Trevor Goof, how you doing, compadre?
Is it better to have loved and lost than to never have loved before? That's how I feel like it's going. I know how you're feeling, and I understand it, but from just a straight baseball fan.
Oh, you and Uncle Rob are happy?
Oh my gosh, what a freaking game, dude. And I am the Dodger fan at the company now.
Right.
The game kind of had everything you wanted in it, man. I was happy that both starters pitched well. We had a massive Stanton blast, which has become, it happens every game, it seems like.
Crazy.
And then the finish. We'll get into all the details, but yes, a crazy game. I was watching with the family. Isla's favorite player is Freddie Freeman because she has a bobblehead of Freddie Freeman in her room.
Throw that out.
She was going nuts. Very cool for me to see that.
Probably a nice moment for you.
Yeah.
It's different than my reaction?
A little bit, yeah. I said I was talking to you before the show. You guys were expecting something bad to happen, man.
Well, a lot of the Yankees' concerns end up getting magnified by a walk-off 2-out grand slam that the sick part of baseball, they were close to getting one tonight, and they could have won it, and they had 10 hits. There was some good, and then all the bad gets multiplied. Let's get into it because there's a lot of nitty-gritty. Your guy Jack, our guy Jack. Let's do it. Welcome back to the Fall Classic. The Dodgers would hope to put Cole in Gerrit's stocking while the Yankees would try to hit Jack's off Flaherty. Like my college years were scoreless through all four, but in the fifth, getting jiggy with it. Will Smith sack fly, 1-0 Dodgers. Our guy, my tequila buddy Jack Flaherty, was lights out, but he forgot the DJ had one more song. Hit the music. Giancarlo. Let the rhythm take you over, Giancarlo. Te quiero, majestic homers. 2-run bomb has the Yanks leapfrog the Dodgers 2-1. Bottom 8, showtime as Ohtani clicks Tommy Boy. And Mookie says bet with the sack fly. Tied up at 2s. Buenos Cantos. Jazz was running like a Miles Davis solo. Volpe scores him on a fielder's choice. It's 3-2. But unfortunately, these Dodgers are too sexy for their shirts. Right said Fred as Freeman sends a grand salami into the night sky. Dodgers take game 1 in a walk-off. 6-3 final.
Hit Jacks off Flaherty?
Hit Jacks off Flaherty. That's a home run term. It's nothing else.
Golly.
That's
Where do you want to start, Pop? Where do you want to start? You're a sicko.
A little bit. I'll be honest. A little bit. Let's work our way through it.
Okay.
Gerrit Cole versus Jack Flaherty. Maybe we start there. Both of them came out, and they looked really good. Cole settled in and had that look on his face that there's something about, I know you hate starting pitchers, but when you see a starting pitcher with that look on his face, kind of the bored, angry combo of just like, why am I even doing? Why are you up there? Why am I here? Cole had that. And then Flaherty, man, credit to the guy. I know we were in an interesting spot just because his last start was so rough after a great first start against the Mets. But man, after the first inning, he really was sharp with his breaking balls, putting it just out of the reach, except the one to Big G.
Yeah, I think both of them had command and control of their off-speed pitches. Jack for sure. He had a ton of swing and miss tonight, which is something we just don't see that often with him. Um, yeah, with one mistake to Stanton, which wasn't even that bad of a pitch. But I wanted to see these guys. You knew Gerrit was going to get to however many pitches he was going to throw out. What did he end up with? 88. You knew he was going to get into the fifth, the sixth inning. We don't really know that with any of the Dodger starters, and maybe we should start thinking that because Jack threw the ball extremely well. I think even the top of the first, we've seen Jack get emotional in the playoffs. And it's kind of the type of guy he is on the mound. Like he'll sometimes let his emotions get the best of him. Tommy Edman boots one in the first inning, and you're like, okay, like how is this all going to go down? He gets Jazz to ground out. Like I think there's like little things like that that kind of set him up, and you knew that he was kind of in control after seeing a moment like that. Like he just took a deep breath and just went back to work, and then he just started locating the breaking balls. He's throwing a lot of them. Did he strike Judge out 3 times? I think he did. I know Judge struck out 3 times in the game. Was it all Jack?
Let's see. Judge strikes out to Flaherty. Judge strikes out to Flaherty. Does he get him one more time? Yeah. 3 for 3.
Yeah, I think he did a really good job kind of pitching around Soto. He picked his spots with Judge and won that matchup. But then the homer to Stanton, it was just he's hot right now and swings over 2 of those sliders. I think it was a slider then a curveball. Then he goes up top with just a bad change your eye level fastball, and then Stanton was just sitting on that next off speed pitch, and he left it a little bit too high. And Stanton right now there is no other word to describe that homer. You said it, I wrote it down. Majestic. That's it. There's no other word to describe that homer. Right?
Yeah, I mean, dude, I think you said your favorite launch angle was 17, if I was remembering correctly.
27
the line drive. Oh, okay.
27 is my favorite. That I'm guessing. I was gonna go look at that. I'm gonna guess the launch angle now. It's 36.
78. I'm not sure.
Okay, let's go look.
I'll let you go look. Man, Stanton, if you're someone who hasn't been watching all the Yankee games throughout the playoffs, if you're Dodger fans here to drink my tears, hello, subscribe. Stanton's awesome. Launch angle 35.
35. I was looking for it. I couldn't find it.
That man, Stanton is in a special place, and it's been his whole postseason career. He's one-dotted in the postseason now. He just passed Babe Ruth for
I saw that.
What would you say? The least amount of plate appearances per home run.
Per homer, yeah.
That's pretty good.
Yeah.
That's pretty good. So to see that continue, I mean, that had Yankee fans back up. Like, okay, we've got that, and you've got a lead. Oh my God.
Yeah, I think I'm going back looking over my notes right now. There was a 2-strike pitch to Judge. He tried to go, Flaherty tried to go up top. Same kind of pitch he did with Stanton there, but he kind of left it a little lower, and I thought Judge was going to freaking crush that pitch. Ends up getting him on a curveball later in the at-bat. So a little bit of Jack just really pitching well. And again, I think we're going to talk about things that happened in this game, but I kind of think the story right now is Judge is just he's not in the groove right now, and he's the guy you want to face. You don't want to face Stanton. You don't really want to face Soto. I think you'd rather face Judge than Glaber right now, which is crazy. I don't think that's me overreacting. For the Yankees to get back into it and to have the ability to win this series, I mean, Judge he's got to figure it out.
Yeah, let's do the Judge combo. Sorry, Dodgers, you're gonna have to wait till for the delicious part in a second. Although, like you just said, Judge right now, isn't a problem for their pitchers. In fact, they're playing into it. Juan Soto intentional walk. That's twice this postseason that's happened. That didn't happen during the regular season at all. And Judge is clearly off, man. Like again, credit to Jack. Like Jack really dealt tonight, and his off-speed stuff, he's really found a sweet spot with that, between that tight, like 87 mile per hour slider and the 80 mile per hour curveball, that with his fastball. You see why he put together a great year. That being said,
his velo was there tonight too, which was
his velo was there. Yeah. And that's going to be something to check in, obviously, next start, if there is a next start.
Okay.
But for Judge right now, like you said, he's so in between. He gets punched out on 93, middle away, which is normally a hot zone for Judge. To swing through that, I mean, we just, Yankee fans don't see that during the regular season. So, the big debate, Aaron Boone, he got asked in the presser, and he's like, are you guys going to consider sliding Judge down? He immediately shot it down, to the dismay of this office. And I guess I'd love to hear your thoughts on it, because obviously Aaron Judge won the MVP this year. This is one game. The playoffs are a smaller sample size, but we're coming down to it. The Yankees can only lose 3 more baseball games. Otherwise, their season's over. And you can build upon the fact that Giancarlo Stanton is the most feared hitter in the world right now, that I think you could do this in a way that's not offensive. And also, it shouldn't be offensive because you're trying to win baseball games.
Yeah, I don't think it's offensive. I just don't know if you need to do it. I mean, why toy with Stanton? That's kind of my thought process on it. Like, if he's doing well in his situation, keep him there. Like, I know we're, kind of at the end of the postseason, and it's kind of gone on all postseason long. But I mean, you got to figure he's gonna figure it out at some point. Maybe he won't. I don't know. I still don't think that would change anything. I guess the only reason you do that is to get Stanton up another time, or like get him up more, I guess. Or is it for protection with Soto? Is that what the thought process is? I don't think he needs to move.
It would be partially Soto protection. And in theory, if you could slide Judge down, you could try to extend the lineup a little bit.
You slide him down, just flipping with Stanton, or you're talking about sliding him like to the
the two conversations would be, you could flip them, or you could have Judge bat 5th, which Stanton has hit this postseason, and then you slide up Jazz or one of the lefties to try to break them up and extend the lineup. So
I don't think he does. I know he said as much after the game, but I don't. That seems.
Boone said he won't.
Interesting. I get it. It's like,
this is currently Yankees fan fiction.
Yes.
That could get actually real if Judge has another day where. Again, like, there's not overstepping the boundary to say he looked really, really tough tonight.
He's quick to the draw, like he's out in front. You're right, he's in between pitches. He's out in front of the slider, and he got beat by fastballs. Can't be both. Kind of got to pick one. When you're in that position, you got to pick one.
Let's get into the second half of the game, which is really your Dodgers.
My Dodgers.
And it's brought to you by Shady Rays. Shady Rays, better together. Shady Rays will be friends forever. Shady Rays. They're an independent sunglasses company offering a world-class product, 5 stars by over 300,000 people, and they've got their lost and broken replacement guarantee. So if you lose them or break them, bang, they got you. If you don't love your shades, exchange for a new pair or return worry-free within 30 days. And exclusively for our listeners, Shady Rays is giving out their best deal of the season. Go to shadyrays.com. Use code TALKIN for 50% off 2+ pairs of premium polarized sunglasses. That offer applies to the custom Jimmy and Jake collab shade, so go get yours now. So, Trevor,
yes.
The Yankees take a 2-1 lead. Feeling pretty good. Stanton does it again. Cole is looking good. The Yankees have their good bullpen.
Let's stay in the top of the 6.
Okay. Because the Yankees did get some more traffic on there.
get some more traffic in. I thought it's always interesting to me, like, why did Jack throw even a pitch to Chisholm right there? Like, that's
Right.
weird to get taken out after a 1-0 count, but whatever. Doesn't really mean anything. Bandit comes in, Jazz singles, Jazz stolen base, Rizzo Ks. They intentionally walk Volpe to get to Wells, and then it's a guy that's been there all postseason for the Dodgers, Tommy Edman. Goes up the middle, keeps Jazz at third. This is a great play. I mean, this is 100%. I mean,
And
it's
look,
such great baseball
yeah,
right
but
there,
look at
man.
the athletic play by Banda to cut that off, you know?
And it's like, what if Jazz was running right there and you just cut it off?
Right?
Get out of the way, man. But just the Edman taking that angle back. I mean, that's you understand the situation there. Jazz is on second base. You're looking around the infield. You're saying, "Hey guys, we're diving. We're keeping the ball in the infield." So you're going to take an exaggerated angle on something like that. That's not an angle to say I'm going to get an out. You're not. You're not going to get an out. You're taking that angle back to make sure that you put a glove on the ball. To get up and spin and fire home like that is even more impressive. But I mean, that saves a run. Verdugo ends up Kang and it keeps it at 2-1. That's a massive play in the game. And then, oh yeah, he comes up in the bottom of the sixth, double down the line. Now, this is now the beginning of 3 straight innings where the Dodgers would have a guy on third base less than 2 outs. The sixth inning, Mookie hits the ball to Jazz, 5-3, and then Freddie flies out to the night or to right field. But the Dodgers are starting to put traffic. They're starting to get base runners on, and then you kind of knew it was only a moment. Or it was. What am I trying to say?
Only a matter of time.
Only a matter of time.
Nice.
Before it kind of broke through. I don't even know why I didn't know this, but Graterol coming back and like all of a sudden being in the game was crazy. If we're gonna talk about Nestor being in the game in a weird situation, all of a sudden Graterol's in there to face freaking the top of the order. Like
Hey
what was
man,
that about,
that's
dude?
again, funny business probably isn't the right term. Man, that's something that in this box score, it's just like, oh, okay, clean reliever inning. Brusdar changed kind of the tone of this game.
Dude,
I mean, that barehanded.
that's ridiculous.
That should just end an inning. Like, okay, boys. Like, nope.
He hadn't been in the game since September 24th, a full month. He comes in, bare hands that ball, which is just insane. And then Soto flew out to Tommy Edman, and he was like staring at him.
Oh, yeah.
Like he wanted that smoke. Like he was in there saying, like, "This is me. I'm here." I'm like, "Okay, I guess you're back."
That was a really fun at bat, and Brusdar wins the 3-2 pitch, gets it in on Soto's hands, which is really tough to do. And then he strikes out Stanton later that inning, which and then Trev, I forgot about this, and me, Jimbo, we recorded Talkin' Yanks before this, and, it's obviously more Yankee-focused and still want to talk about Glaber and Oswaldo and some of that stuff. For this modern age of hitting and getting your A swing off and, that's the best way to successful and put up the best numbers. Like, there's no such thing as a 2-strike approach. Can we send all of those people Teoscar's at bat against Cole where he went down 0-2? Because know who stopped taking his A swing? Teoscar. He was a goddamn menace, just fouling off Cole's nastiest pitches. He spit on a couple sliders, fouls off a four-seamer and then another slider, another ball, and Cole's like, all right, I got to come in the zone with something. And he hits a single up the middle, which ends up being Cole's last batter, which started a debate. Should Cole have been taken out there? Because now you're bringing Clay Holmes in to start versus a lefty. But the Dodgers don't really have a righty lane. Their only back-to-back righties are Kike and Smith after Muncy. So the Yankees were trying to sneak Clay Holmes in there almost. That, in a series that we're talking about, two teams that are both really good. A game that went 10 innings and was down to the final out and final pitch and whatever. The ripple effects of that at bat and that whole sequence I mean, you could. Yankee fans are spinning their wheels in an awful way.
I was a little shocked that Cole came out right there. I didn't expect him to get pulled like that. Great at bat by Teo there, gets it. The base knock up the middle. When Holmes came in, I mean, that was like a nightmare.
He was
for
pitching
him.
around Muncy.
He hits him. He didn't pitch around. He pitched
into him.
He got him.
Yeah.
This is another inning where the Dodgers threaten. Kike gets an incredible bunt down. Like Rizzo's 20 feet from him. Obviously, like you have to bunt towards the third baseline there, but it's easier said than done. He gets a great bunt down right there. I love the slow-mos on bunts. Just love me that ultra slow-mo on the bunt.
It was cool to see his like hand basically come off the bat to deaden it. That was a cool.
Yeah, I mean you're real loose. The firmer you hold it, the harder the ball is gonna go. So you're real loose with that handling job right there. You know all about that. Right at the top end of the stick. Great. I mean, that's again, I don't know how many sack bunts Kike has had during the year. I know that probably don't bunt a ton, but you got to have the ability to get one down. So they threaten again. Will Smith, I believe, first pitch flies out to Volpe, and just another. I mean, I wrote down tough AB. Got to get a better pitch than that. Obviously, he throws a nasty, boring fastball, but it is what it is. And then Kahnle comes in, and is he ever going to throw anything but a changeup? Like, is there a time where he's going to try to fool somebody? I don't think so, right?
Ooh,
like
interesting. Jim's floating around. Do you think we get a Kahnle fastball this series? Says yes to a righty.
Okay, yeah, maybe. That's crazy, dude. What else do we got?
Well, I think some other stuff in that section. Yeah.
Well, the bottom of the eighth is when the Dodgers end up tying it, and that was very interesting. So Shohei's up there. Obviously, Shohei knows, hey, I'm gonna get a changeup.
Yeah.
Everyone knows they're gonna get a changeup. Shohei's too good of a hitter to know what pitch is coming and not get a hit. So bam, double off the top of the wall. That right there is very tough for Yankee fans to see. You have to body that ball up, and there's nobody that's supposed to be in that situation, like be in that area. Like that's a quote unquote like no man's land. Like maybe Rizzo trails the runner there and he's somewhere near, but he wouldn't be near where that ball is. That's just straight up Gleyber being lazy. Like there's no play. So you're not like trying to pick it and tag him. You gotta block that ball. You just can't do what he did. Like that's the only thing that you can't do in that situation. And we talk about these, 90 feet means a lot in these games. And all of a sudden Shohei's on third base, less than 2 outs, and Mookie gets it done, man. Like Weaver comes in, throws some really good pitches, but Mookie, 2 strikes, just does what he's supposed to do. Actually, he hit that ball very hard, but all of a sudden we're looking at a tie ball game because your middle infielder doesn't body up the ball and stop it. I mean, these are the little things, dude. It's a completely different game.
Yeah. Yeah, I know. Well, like I'll take your word on it. With Shohei going to second, you don't need anyone covering first, so it would have been nice if Rizzo's floating that way. But, I mean, Gleyber Torres, that can't happen. This is a World Series game. But he wouldn't be
floating. He wouldn't be floating by the pitcher's mound. If he goes, he will be trailing Shohei, which you don't really do in that situation because it's
tough race for Rizzo there too. By the way,
it was in a very bad spot. No one was going to be on that ball. It's just Gleyber's you got to catch the ball.
It's been Yankees' frustration with Gleyber for a while, and hey, man, it's bad. I honestly, during the ALCS celebration, because Gleyber Torres out of the leadoff spot has been incredible. And like his second half this year to kind of save his contract year. Man, when they won the ALCS, I had kind of one of those I had the same feeling as a teacher that had like a student that was kind of struggling a little bit and then like turned it around at the end of the year. And the teacher's like, damn, like, good for you, man. Like, I had that feeling for Gleyber Torres, who's going to be a lot more rich than me, successful. But yeah, man, I mean, this is the World Series, Trev. The fact that we can second guess on that and the tying run being on a sac fly that goes in extra innings, I mean, to put the Cole start out the window, to put the Stanton home run out the window, I mean, it's currently the thing that's hurting me the most.
Yeah, it's tough. I mean, it's also going to come back. I think that second base position, we'll talk about it in a little bit, it's going to come back to haunt. Top of the ninth, Kopech comes in. We get the Glaber, all of a sudden makes up for that. Hits, is it a homer? Is it a double? The fan reaches over.
Clean
It was
catch.
going to be a double. I don't think if you're a Yankees fan, I know it seems weird, but you can't really say that was going to be a home run. So
man, I think there was a perfect fan base to do that too. We were in the live stream and like, nope, seen that before. That's that's not a home run. There wasn't a second that we were like, no.
Yeah, I saw you guys' reaction to that one too. You guys knew right away.
Well, we're ready to pop. We're like, dude, Glaber's about to hit the redemption homer, and then it's like, okay, we know that one.
That was with 2 outs, and we get the Soto intentional walk, like you talked about. Treinen comes in to face Judge. Treinen is absolutely filthy. Gets in the fly out to shortstop.
And if you're deep in this, Treinen opens up with 4 sweepers to Judgy. That fourth one, Treinen doesn't leave a lot of meat on the bone. He left some meat on the bone there, man. And Judge swang out of his shoes. He doesn't do that. He's always under such control. And both of his feet came sliding out because he tried to hit that ball a mile. Why'd you just do a weird head tilt there? What was that?
Because I'm reading my notes and there's a note that doesn't make any sense. Okay. Great play by Mookie, looking like. Oh, okay. It says looking like ass out there. That I don't know what that means.
Mookie?
Top of the 10th, Jazz hits the single. Mostly. Okay.
You got this.
I got it, dude. Great play by Mookie getting over to the ball. Jazz hits one in the gap. Mookie runs, cuts it off, gets in, holds Jazz to a single. I have great play by Mookie looking like a shortstop out there.
Yes.
And A and SS were next to each other. I said, looking like ass out there. No, a shortstop out there. Because mind you, people, opposite. He was a shortstop.
Yeah, dude, that play by that play by Mookie was really good. And it was just a reminder that it's like, damn, like we feel like the Mookie infield stuff is sick, and maybe he has a great second half of his career at second base or wherever, but like this guy was an all-world right fielder. To see someone do that, you don't see outfielders do that.
So 90 feet, man. 90 feet means a lot in these games. Anyway, it doesn't matter because Blake Treinen can't hold a freaking runner on. And this is something that's going to come back in the series, and we're going to see this. 3 stolen bases in this inning. Not only to second base, Jazz is stealing third base as well. They have to figure that out. You can't just let people just run wild on you. You can't do that. I don't understand it. It's just not acceptable. Like, you have to be able to hold runners, and you can't let people just run wild on you, which they did. I honestly couldn't believe it. Don't know what Rizzo was really doing on the ball that Volpe hits. It's the ground ball. Infield's in, which is weird to me. We've talked about this. Like, teams really like to play the infield in very aggressively now. Like, typically first and third right there with 1 out, you would be like, you'd be kind of a hybrid of double play depth, infield in, trying to cut down the run. I get it, but I mean, that's a double play ball for the receiver. I know Volpe can run too, so that adds to it. Don't know why Rizzo stopped right there, though.
Yeah, he was trying to get in the way. He was trying to make a wall if they flipped that and just
to throw it,
be as big as possible. Yeah,
like if they were to throw it to first.
Yeah,
I mean, he's got to know at that time there's no chance to get anybody at first base. I honestly don't know what he was doing right there.
I think Rizzo
made the ball.
He
bobbled it.
I think Rizzo had made his mind pre-bobble, which
like
I think there's an argument either way. Like I think I know what he was trying to do there. If Rizzo kept going and went for a hard slide into second, I think that could be equally as effective, and he could have maybe been safe. That what does that do for the inning? But yeah, it was definitely funky to just watch live. Like
They showed Judge and Stanton reacting to it, and they were like, yeah, we scored, but what was that a little bit?
yeah, it was.
So Yankees take the lead.
Yes, they do.
Top 10.
Let's go. Let's go.
Jazz manufactures a run with his legs. And Volpe, guess what he does? He steals too, because
Why not?
why wouldn't you?
Yeah.
They have to figure something out. That was honestly, I can't stand that. That's one of my biggest pet peeves with pitchers. I'm not gonna hold them on. Who cares? I'm like, no, we care. Everybody else cares. Every single other person on the team cares.
Whole squad, man.
Yeah. Okay. So 3-2. Wells ends up carrying against Treinen. Bottom of the 10th, man. Bottom of the 10th. We get. Did Nestor start that inning?
No, Jake Cousins did.
Jake Cousins did. That's right.
Who's still. Jake Cousins got hurt to end the season. I think he's had 2 appearances coming into today. So he's still figuring out. He was electric for the Yankees for a little bit, but they also have shooed him in as a righty guy. He has a devastating slider and a really good two-seamer with it. That righties are really in a tough spot, and when the Yankees have someone like this, they did it with Adam Ottavino when he was on the team. They really, especially come playoff time, they pigeonhole, you get righties, don't even think about lefties.
Yeah, this was an interesting inning for me for a couple of different reasons. I know we're going to talk about the Nestor Cortes decision, but Will Smith flies out. Gavin Lux works a walk. Tom Edman puts together a really nice at bat. 2 strikes, puts the ball in play. All of a sudden, Glaber's not out there. It's Oswaldo Cabrera at second base. And the ball just kind of like scoots under his glove. It's not an easy play, but I think a play that gets made kind of a lot. At least get 1 out right there. And as soon as that happened, I was like, this is bad for the Yankees, because you get an out there, then you have 2 outs, and if you give those 3 guys, Shohei, Mookie, and Freddie, now all of a sudden they have 2 chances to get you. It completely changes everything, man. I think it just Torres was out because he got pinch ran for by Jason Dominguez, and all of a sudden Oswaldo Cabrera, who's been sitting on the bench the whole game, comes in, doesn't make the play. Like all these little things, they make a big difference. Nestor comes in. All of a sudden it's first and second for Ohtani. Nestor's in. Your thoughts?
I knew what they were thinking. And they had both of them up. Tim Hill has been great for the Yankees. Fantastic. He doesn't strike guys out. So the Yankees with Shohei coming out, and this is the ripple effect that you're talking, with that infield single, with, a 5-pitch walk to Gavin Lux, who's a guy, no offense to Gavin Lux, but with these other Dodgers, that's someone you have to challenge. I don't want to say it's splitting hairs. Tim Hill probably deserved the opportunity. I think the Yankees in the situation, and after seeing Vesia and Brusdar, were almost willing to try their button. And hey, with this whole ripple effect you talk about, now, if they had gotten it out there, they might walk Shohei and then have Jake Cousins pitch to Mookie if there was 2 outs, and keep the right on right, and then you figure out the lefty with Freddie on deck if you have to get there. So again, that's part of that ripple effect. And yeah, man, it's the sick part of baseball, because Nestor throws 1 pitch to Shohei, he fouls it out to left, and Alex Verdugo makes an all-world type play.
He made a couple of really nice plays tonight.
And that's why he's in the lineup instead of Jason Dominguez, who the Yankees didn't call up until late September, and they apparently don't think he can play left field. Otherwise, that could be the missing thump at the bottom of their lineup, which is a massive problem. But an amazing play by Verdugo into the stands. And then, that's going to get forgotten for a long time, because Nestor comes out, first pitch to Freddie. Not crazy different than what he threw to Shohei, but the result was 423 feet different.
Oh, right away, too. What a freaking swing. And going back to the Verdugo play, he flips over into the railing. It advances the runner. So now it's an easy decision to walk Mookie Betts. So you get the lefty-lefty matchup. I know there was some Tim Hill versus Freddie numbers. I think Freddie has some good numbers against him, but we're just looking at this in hindsight, obviously. But I just think having a guy that he hasn't pitched in a game in a while, it's just different, man. Whether you think you're ready for it or not, obviously, it's just I don't know. But
Tim Hill was the easier button to press.
Yeah, he's kind of been that guy for them.
Yeah.
So you don't give it to him. Now, if he's faced with the same exact situation moving forward, like he can't choose Nestor, right?
You can for Ohtani, not for Freddie. I don't know.
But that I mean, you just have to give credit to Freddie. I mean, are you kidding me?
Yeah.
To even honestly even be looking first pitcher though, he said after the game was just trying to be on time to the fastball, trying to be on time to the fastball. But Shohei gets out first pitch, intentional walk to Mookie. Like, I'm not saying you go up there and take, but he gets the pitch he wants and doesn't freaking miss it, man.
No.
And he's got a legendary Los Angeles Dodger moment that's going to live for a long time. That place was nuts. No one was leaving the stadium. He knew it right away. And people forget he's a Southern California kid.
Okay.
Just saying, dude, doing it to a team that he watched growing up, or doing it with a team he watched growing up, is pretty awesome, man.
He probably watched the Yanks too.
Probably. And Cubs and Braves. That's what we all did back in the day. Everyone watched the Cubs and the Braves because they were on TV.
Look at that. Simple thought process. Trev, let's wrap this up, and we'll get some thoughts going into game 2, and we might get, John was thinking about it. I don't know if he's got a question or two or thought for you, but it's brought to you by Mountain Dew. Come on, Trev. Code Red? Are you kidding me?
Oh, could use one right now.
Yeah, it's going to be a big Mountain Dew October for me. And it should be for you, too, with their bold flavors and refreshing citrus kick. Mountain Dew will get you off your ass and have you feeling like you're on an actual mountain. Mountain where the weather is always perfect. Your friends are ready to hang. A day of epic proportions await. Whether you're playing pickup, football, tossing the Frisbee around, video games, you already know that. Maybe some blitzball in our warehouse. Blitzball Battle 5 is coming up November 4th. Make sure you guys tune into that. Mountain Dew is a huge part of that. And if you like the drama from tonight, Blitzball Battle 5 has that on our Warehouse Games channel. The mountain is calling. You should answer. Grab your friends. Grab an ice cold Mountain Dew wherever refreshing beverages are sold. And there's a link in the description. Jimbo, did you say you had a stat?
Kike Hernandez attempted 3 sack bunts over the year, only got 1 successfully down. Well, 1 he bunted, they got the out at third. The other he popped out, and then the third he got down.
That's a hell of a bunt, man.
And Kahnle has thrown 1 slider this postseason and 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 11 fastballs.
Isn't it something like 50 changeups in a row, though, right now?
Yeah.
I think so.
It's because he's facing lefties.
Yeah.
He against the Royals, he got Salvi, Yuli, like he used it against the righties, the fastball. He's got a nice fastball.
Yeah, he does.
The changeup's just nicer.
Tommy Edman switch hitting from the right side tonight. Does it get better than that?
Is there like another pitcher in recent memory that's done something like this? Like Lance McCullers with the curveball. I'm not talking about Mariano. I understand that, but like a guy that just finds a pitch and just runs with it like this, it's kind of crazy.
It's interesting.
McCullers was 17 curveballs in a row to start off a game. We thought that was so cool, but Tommy Kahnle's like, no, watch this.
It's a good question. Yeah, I'm sure like maybe Kahnle has had like a cutter streak, but I know that pitch that pitch is different than kind of what you're depicting. If we had a changeup only guy, I don't think so. God, he's fun, and yeah, it was
Matt Caracity 90% sinker in 2023.
Okay.
Never heard of him.
I don't know who that is either.
Shout out, man.
Not my book.
Zach Britton was as close as you'll get to that.
Throwing his thing.
Sinker?
Yeah.
Yeah, it was like
It moved like a curveball. It was great.
Do you guys like my hat, Jimmy? Do you like my hat? I'm our Dodger fan for our company.
Yeah, I like it. It looks like it fits your head.
Thanks.
All the hats today
yeah.
didn't fit the players' heads.
Yeah, Rizzo twice. What happened to that? What was going on there? That was weird. His hat was just falling off.
Yeah, Edmonds looked like he was wearing his dad's hat. Kahnle looked like he was wearing his son's hat.
Very small. I noticed. It's Kahnle. Notice Kahnle's hat.
Yep.
Very small.
Jack had like the air bubble pockets in his hat.
Rizzo's,
I think they got World Series hats and they're just like not broken in or not.
Sometimes that
fixed.
happens, man. It's bad hats.
I think it's with the logo. Oh, do I have one? Something on the side's different. It's different.
I have something.
That's a nice. What do you got for game 2, Trev?
I don't want to call it a must-win for the Yankees, but I think I'm calling it the must-win for the Yankees. I don't know, man.
We're kind of
You
there.
guys are kind of feeling that way. Yeah, I'm sure any Yankee fan is feeling that kind of way. I mean, like having Carlos Rodon ready to go, I think that you have to feel pretty good about that. Yamamoto to me is still kind of it's a wild card. Every starter for the Dodgers is going to be a wild card for me. I don't think you can like necessarily trust them to do what Jack did tonight. I think if I'm banking on who's going to go longer in the game, but between Rodon and Yamamoto, I say Rodon. I would say that. I feel pretty good about saying that. So I don't know. To me, it's Judge. Judge has to get going. That's the series, man.
Yamamoto's a pretty bad matchup for Judge. Splitters are a bugaboo for Judge. So
he's got to fly teacher man out there.
And big pitch mixes. Like Waka and Lugo were nightmares for Judge. I thought Flaherty would be better, but he looked awful. He
looked really bad. He was really out in front.
He's looked worse and worse the last 3 games.
Yeah. But, Mookie and Ohtani were 1 for 8 tonight. So,
Cole pitched Ohtani really cool. Like, really cool.
Yeah.
It was good. Like, it was a 3 at-bat plan, which was nuts.
There's going to be a lot of eyeballs on Judge.
Yep.
And then I think the other thing is, can the Yankees get the early lead? Because we saw last series, Dave Roberts openly talked about knowing what he has in his cupboard, although he traded 1 for 2. I mean, how good Brusdar and Vesia look tonight, even though Evan Phillips is off the roster. But we know if they go down 2-3 runs, they're not going to press the Kopech, Treinen, and maybe throw 1 or 2 other guys in there. I think BBD said before, like, Brusdar, it's his first game back, so they probably don't double up on him. So if you can get an early lead, they don't want to press their buttons because they know they have limited ammo coming from their bullpen. But on the other side, that offense is just relentless. The whole lineup where the Yankees second half, and this is part of the we were having Yankees talk around our office, is how can you stretch out this lineup? And is it, moving a big guy down? Is there anything you can really do? And it's, that lefty lane that they're creating. And Aaron Boone talked about it on our Talkin' Yanks interview with him. He, to Tim Herron, the lefty on the Guardians, he was like, yeah, we knew we were going to have to eat that inning. And it's like, damn, it's a crazy thought when you're playing 7 games to decide your season and they've got 2 lefties. So for 2 innings, you're just going to let your lineup get eaten? It's tough.
And I'd imagine that Dave Roberts is going to take your advice, Jimmy, and not pitch to Stanton. Like, you can't let that guy beat you right now. If Jazz Chisholm beats you, okay. Like, you just cannot give him anything to hit. And
Judge being bad, they've lost all 3 batters. Boone needs to move Judge. Otherwise, he's just like sitting on his hands. Because
I just don't know where do you move him? You put him just swap him and Stanton, or do you put him down further?
I would go for the next game against the righty pitcher. I would go Stanton 3, Jazz 4, Judge 5, And then Judge is the beast surrounded by the other guys with no slug ability. So he'll get pitches. He won't just get walked. But right now, they're pitching around Soto.
Yep.
Getting Judge out with ease. He was 0-2, 4 out of 5 at-bats tonight. And then pitching around Stanton and getting the next out.
Yeah.
So you've lost all 3. Unless, Stanton's swinging at pitches out of the zone, and he did in the guards because he knows who's behind him. And he knows, like, hey, I got to hit a fastball out of the zone or a curveball below the zone because I'm the last hope.
Yeah.
So if Judge doesn't look better, Boone's got to make a move.
Honestly, like, I know he already came out and said no, and it would shock me if he did.
He said no to switching Stanton and Judge, which is the easier route. But they've just built a bullpen dream for Roberts.
You're totally right with the fact that, look, this is it. This is the last. No one's ego needs to be thought about right now. It's about winning baseball games. So you have to do what's right for the lineup. I mean, I would love to see it. I just don't think it's going to happen. I don't know.
You got
maybe
Glaber, Soto, Judge, Stanton. Okay, that's 3 out of 4 righties. You pitch around Soto. So there's your righty lane. There's your Brusdar lane. And then you've got Jazz, Rizzo, Volpe, Wells, Verdugo. That's 4 out of 5 lefties. Banda comes in. They intentionally walk Volpe, and now you got 4 lefties. So it's a dream for Roberts.
Yeah.
Like, his decisions are so easy. So I don't think they could do that lineup again.
Yeah, they're gonna have to mix and match a little bit better down the bottom of the lineup as well, for sure. What do you got on this, like, Treinen just giving up stolen bases at will thing? Like, can they even fix that? I don't think at this point you can fix that. I think it's just the Yankees better take advantage of that, because that is crazy that he's allowing that to occur.
Yeah, Yankees have their problems with Stroman this year with that.
Yeah.
And Boone talked to us about that. Like, we need everyone to buy in. He was like, some guys won't. And he was frustrated.
It is frustrating.
And it's funny. It's the 2 guys on the Yankees that can do it to you. It's Jazz and Volpe. So, yeah, I think you've known enough relievers and you've seen what Treinen's doing that I don't I don't see him getting too dialed on that.
I think he did pick off once, didn't he?
Yeah, he
That's
threw
not
over
enough.
once, yeah.
Like, you got to, like,
Step off
hold.
the
You got to do all the
second.
things. Just do the things.
You got a back pick.
Hold.
Do the head.
Everything. Supposed to throw that freaking disgusting slur that he throws. Whatever the hell that's called.
Gross. Anything else, fellas? All right.
Tomorrow's a big one, dude.
Tomorrow's a
Tomorrow's a
huge
big
one. I'm no like congrats Dodgers fans. I guess congrats baseball fans that did get to enjoy that from a third party view. We will be streaming on Talkin Yanks again. If you haven't checked that out, it's quite the interesting thing. I think it's a one of one in the streaming world. Live chat's a lot of fun. We're hanging out, and we'll see. Game 2 of the World Series. My God.
Say that again. Game 2 of the World Series.
Step up, you know?
Tommy Edman is.
Hot?
I think he's hotter, like, in person.
Cute.
Bigger than you think.